Hello students, welcome to MGC Learning. Today we are going to study chapter 1 of Computer Science 1, that is operating system. The topic is concept related to process management part 2. So let's begin. So in this session we are going to study what is process scheduling, objectives of process scheduling and types of process scheduling. First understand what do you mean by process. Process it means it is a program under executing which competes for the CPU time and other resources. So it means there is a difference between process and program. So when a user is writing a program in C or C++ and compile it, the compiler creates a binary code. So why they creates a binary code? Because the the computer will understand binary code, that is 0 and 1. So original code and the binary code are both programs. When we actually run the binary code, that binary code is called a process. So there is a difference between a process and a program. So process means it is a program under executing which competes for the CPU time and other resources. So process means program under executing and which competes for the CPU time and other resource called a process, and program will not compete for the any CPU time and other resources. So there is a difference between process and a program. Next one, what do you mean by schedule? Scheduling means it is a process which allows one process to use the CPU while the execution of another process is on hold. So due to unavailability of resources, that is called a scheduling. Scheduling means the process, the CPU is running only one process, so it is using all the resources. So while the executing of another process, so is on hold. So another process is on hold because the CPU is running the current process. So that purpose, that is called a scheduling. So why we need scheduling? So in a multi-programming system, one process can use CPU. So while another is waiting for the input-output operation. So this is possible only with the process scheduling. So that purpose we need scheduling, because in a multi-programming system, one process can use CPU, and while another is in waiting for the input-output operation. So this is possible only with the help of, that is called a process scheduling. So multi-programming, degree of multi-programming, it means the number of processes running simultaneously, and hence the computing for the CPU is known as the degree of multi-programming. So that purpose we needed of scheduling. Next one, process scheduling. So it is an operating system task, scheduled processes and different stages like ready, waiting and running. So this task is done by the operating system. What the operating system is doing is schedule the processes like different stages like ready, waiting and running. So we are already seeing the stages of process, that is ready, block, running. So what the operating system is doing, it is schedule the processes different stages like process 1 is ready and process 2 is waiting and process 3 is running. So this task is done by the process operating system. It is the activity of the process manager that handles the removal of the running process from the CPU and the selection of another process on the basis of a particular strategy. So the what the process manager is doing, it actually what it is doing, it remove all the running of the process. So running of the process that will be in the CPU. So what it is doing, it remove the running of the process from the CPU. Then what it is doing, it select the another process. So what the process is ready for the running. So what the process is ready for the running, that will be select for the process manager. So what is the duty of the process manager? It removes the running process from the CPU and it select the process that will be ready for the running. So it will follow some basis particular strategy. So that is called a process scheduling. So these are the objectives of process scheduling. The first one is fairness. Fairness, it means, it refers to being fair to every user in terms of CPU time. It means all the processors should get fair chance to use of the CPU. It means CPU have to give equal time to all the processes. So it must not be like that. Process one is getting too much time and process two is not at all getting any attention. So The first objective is the first objective is fairness. It means the processor fair to every user in terms of the CPU time. So every processor get fair chance to get the use of the CPU. So this is the first objective of the fairness. The second one is good throughput. Good throughput means it is a total number of processes complete of per unit time. So it means the total productive one work done by all the processor put together. That is called a good throughput. So if five processes are running simultaneously, so all the five total number of processor completed for per unit time. So that is called a good throughput. Next one, good CPU utilization. That is the main objectives of the CPU schedule. So it is a fraction of the time that the CPU is busy. It means the main thing of multi-programming is the CPU will not be sit idle. So always the CPU have to be busy. So the good CPU utilization means it will keep the CPU as busy as possible. So this is the main objectives of the process schedule. That is good CPU utilization. Next one is low turnaround time. So it is the elapsed time between a time a program or a job is submitted and the time when it is completed. So it means when the job is submitted and when the job is completed, that time is called a low turnaround time. So the turnaround time will be low. So this is the main objectives of the process schedule. So when the job is submitted and when the job is completed, that time is called a elapsed time. So that is called the turnaround time. So the turnaround time will be low. Next one is low waiting time. Low waiting time, it means it is a time a job spends waiting in the queue of the newly admitted processes for the OS to allocate resources to it before commencing its execution. It means, for example, low waiting time, it means the job, for example, CPU is currently executing three processes. So, and a new processes, already the CPU is executing three processes. The new process, that is the fourth process, is coming. So, it will not come directly to end. So, it has to wait for the CPU because the CPU is doing already running the three processes. So, when any one of these three processes completed, so after the CPU allow the new process to admit. So that time is called the low waiting time. So that time is called the waiting time. So the timing should be low. So this is the main objectives of the scheduling process. So it is the time a job spends waiting in the queue of the newly admitted process for the OS to allocate resources to it before commencing its execution. So new processes admitting. So when any of these remaining current execution processes completed, after the CPS allow the new process to admit and before executing, that time is called a waiting time. So this is a low waiting time in the objectives of process scheduling. And the last one is good response time. So it is a time to respond with an answer or result to a question. So response time, it means it is a time slice for responding with an answer or result to a question. So it is a depend upon the degree of multi-programming. It means the number of processes are running simultaneously and it also computing for the CPU is known as a degree of multi-program. The good response time means the time respond to with an answer or result to a question. That time is called a good response time. So there are six objectives of scheduling objectives. The first one is fairness, second one good throughput, third one good CPU utilization, next one low turnaround time, low waiting time, the last one is good response time. There are two types of scheduling process. First one is preemptive and the second one is non-preemptive. So first understand what you mean by preemptive. Preemptive, it means it allows a higher priority process to replace a currently running process even if time slice is not over or it does not request for any external operation. It means, for example, in this scheduling policy, your low priority process has to be suspend its execution. So, for example, currently a low priority process is running. So what it is doing, even if time slice is over or not, and it does not request of any input output operation, then also it allows a higher priority process to execute. So that is called a preemptive. So record context switching more frequently. We are already seeing what you mean context switching. Context switching means transition of process 1 to process 2. That time is called a context switching. So because it requires context switching more frequently, because it allows higher priority process to execute, and it suspend the low priority process. So that's why the context switching is more frequent in the preemptive. Next one, it increases fairness of the system but decreases throughput. It increases the fairness. How it increases the fairness? Fairness, it means the all the processors are to give the give the equal time to every processor. So every processor get the equal time for the CPU to use. So it will increase the fairness, but it decreases throughput because the total productive work done by all the processor put together. So it will be decreased. So this is called the preemptive scheduling. Next one is non-preemptive. Non-preemptive means in a non-preemptive, a running process retains the control of the CPU and all the allocated resources until it surrenders control to the OS. For example, in non-preemptive, it means a processor executed first come first basis. For example, the first process is coming for the execution. Ready for the running. So what it is doing? So the CPU is doing what CPU is doing, it do the first process first come first save basis, which means when the next process is executed only, current running process finishes the execution. It means currently the CPU is executing one process, so after completing this execution, it will move to the next process, that is process 2. So that is called a non-preemptive. So it increases throughput of the system but decreases fairness. So the throughput, it means the total productive work done by all the user, it will be increases but decreases fairness. Fairness, it means all the processor will not get the equal time, because in first come first basis process 1 is coming. So process 1 is executing for the 5 minutes. So the what the CPU is doing, it will execute the process 1. Then only it will move to the process 2. So in the first process, it is using the 5 minutes. Second process is coming. So the what the CPU is doing, the CPU is after completing a process 1, it will do execution for the process 2. The process 2 is taking for the 7 minutes. So here time slicing is different. So here all the processor will not get the equal time to use a CPU. So that is called a non-preemptive. So in this video we have seen what is process scheduling and objects of process. Thank you.